Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a big show lined up, a special guest here. Got Travis Bashford here. So we're going to get back with him as soon as we finish the weather. But first, let's take a look at it. Brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard, and the hard-working crew taking care of our everyday comfort needs. High today, 68, low 46. And the water temperature right down to 60 degrees even, so it dropped a little bit more. It'll get on down to about 57, 58 probably in another month or so. Our high today is important because it's going to stay high like this for a couple of days. It looks like a little bit of rain coming toward the end of the weekend, so we'll know more about it tomorrow. We'll do our weekend forecast. Our river reading brought to us by Panama City, Coca-Cola, Apalachicola, Bluntstown, 5.6 and pretty steady right there, steady around 6 foot. And then the Choctaw Carabelle, 3.8. It's got a little bit of drop to it. And so the river fishing this weekend should be really in good shape. Our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn, Thursday, December the 21st. A little bit of a neap tide, but tomorrow and Saturday are good strong tides when it's coming in. Take a look at that. We had neap tides about 3 days now, but pretty good tide tomorrow. Wind direction will be coming out of north-northeast at about 8, so not too bad. Okay, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, and Officer Travis Bashford.
Good morning.
Glad to have you.
Yes, sir.
We've just set up, we've got so much to talk about. We've got to get started. We hope we get it all covered. So one of the first things, y'all have asked me a bunch of questions. Travis said at a gas station, y'all ask him. So all these questions, you got it all typed up and all, so give your notes, and I'm glad to have you back.
Yes, sir. Glad to be back, and we have been getting a lot of questions. We're right in the middle of deer season now, and we talked before the season and at the beginning of season about FWC's CWD response. Mm-hmm. We talked about the management zone and things like that, but we have been getting a lot of questions and calls on some new regulations that we've went over, and just want to clarify a few things and then reiterate some of our existing regulations, because deer hunting is a huge thing here in the Panhandle, and everyone's trying to, I would say most everyone is trying to follow the rules and comply with these new regulations. So we just want to go over those again, and maybe we can answer some of the questions in the process. But first off, I just want to start off by reiterating, logging and reporting your deer, how important that is. It's not only the law, but it also helps with the deer management across the state. And we have 3 ways to do that. You can log and report on your mobile device. You can go on the website and do it, or you can do, and I actually printed off one of these, which we had talked about when it first came out, a paper log, where you can actually fill this out. If you don't have service or you don't feel comfortable doing it in the field, you can fill this out before you move the animal after you harvest. And it's
that's a good idea. Just have one in your truck in case you don't get service. That's not a bad idea.
Right. If you don't have service, or your phone goes dead or whatever, you can fill this out. This has all the information: harvest date, number of antler points, whether it be antlered or antlerless, and your tag information if you're using an antlerless deer program tag, etc., and then the location, your ID number. You keep this with you, and then within 24 hours, you need to then report the deer, which you can then call the number or go and do it online and on the app. I prefer the app, but this is another option. Just make sure you do one of the 3. And one caveat to that, even if you're one of the exempt, if you fall under one of the exemptions on the license requirements, which would be hunters over 65 years of age, under 16 years of age, military personnel on leave for 30 days or less, or those hunting on their own homestead in the county of their residence, you still need to log and report. Right. And the way you would do that is you go to Go Outdoors Florida and request you need a customer ID number to do that, because it's going to ask for that kind of stuff. So anyways, I just wanted to reiterate that. We've had questions. Yes, even if you're in the CWD zone. Yes, even if you're part of one of these other programs, still log and report your deer. Secondly, a big question that we've had is when it comes to the take of antlerless deer, because that was a big change this year. As part of the CWD response, they wanted more deer taken, more deer tested. And normally we have doe days. You know, we have 8 in DMU 1, which is north of 10, and 4 in DMU 2, which is south. But this year, north of 10, which is DMU 1, the take of antlerless deer is allowed throughout that DMU unit, DMU 2, north of 10, for the entirety of the open season, during general gun season.
Okay.
So you can take an antlerless deer any day during general gun north of I-10 in Zone D, in DMU 2. However, when you meet your season bag limit of 2, then you're done.
Okay.
Okay? Because that was another confusion. It's like, well, can I take a doe every day?
Right. People told me that.
You can till you meet your 2, because the season bag limit is 5 total, and it can be a combination of 5 antlered, or 4 antlered and 1 antlerless, or 3 antlered and 2 antlerless, but not exceeding more than 2 antlerless.
Okay.
So, just wanted to clear that up. We've had a lot of questions on that.
Okay, and people ask you, is the meat safe to eat, and all of that? So
sure, and we've got no evidence that CWD has been passed to humans, and that's a nationwide thing. We've had questions on that. One thing you can do, if to ease your mind, I know Nicole and the kids, we went over Thanksgiving. She was able to harvest a doe. We took it to a processor, and some of the area processors are participating in the testing. And they ask us, hey, do you mind if we test your deer for CWD in accordance with some of the FWC biologists, what they're wanting to do? And I said, yeah, absolutely. What you can do is, if you take it to a processor, or if you took it to a check station during the opening weekend when it was required in the 3-county area, you can then go online, give it a couple weeks to process, put your confirmation number in from your harvest report, and then you click search, and I actually did it with Nicole's deer, and it came up and said, yeah, it was tested, and CWD was not detected.
Oh, cool.
So that was pretty cool, and that can not ease your mind, because I've had some people say, well, I just don't feel safe eating the meat. If you take it to a place and get tested, then you can give you a little peace of mind there. So pretty cool little program they have, and again, as of now, they've done a lot of testing and a lot of sampling. They have not detected any more CWD other than that one case in
Very good. I know
County
they
to
all
start
do a
with.
bunch of testing now.
Yes. Yes, sir. So,
Okay.
a couple things just want to clear up. I know there's a lot of questions out there, but those are a couple things and some things you can take advantage of. Getting your deer tested, if that gives you peace of mind, and then making sure that you follow the harvest reporting requirements and don't exceed the season bag limit of antlerless deer.
Cool. And get them all recorded. Make sure you record all your kills.
Exactly. And from what I've seen, I mean, people are having a really good season. We've had cold weather, and people have been getting out there in the woods, and I've seen some really nice bucks taken already.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, sounds good. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Here with Travis Bashford from FWC, always gracious enough to come on most time once a month, and we appreciate all the information he shares with y'all. Y'all ask me a lot of questions about that, and I say, and I sort of document them, so we'll check with Travis and see. So appreciate you coming on. So what else is going on?
Well, another thing too that's been going on that people have been having quite a bit of success with, and we'll touch on a little bit later with the case of the month, is waterfowl season came in.
Yes.
People have been doing good on ducks, and we know they had a good dove season before that as well, and deering. One little reminder that kind of was a new thing last year, and from the hunter's perspective and from an enforcement perspective, can kind of be confusing. But we just want to get the information out there. All these bag limits and things are based for the good of waterfowl. And when it comes to bluebills or scaup, we've got a mid-season change with the bag limit again. Okay. And so basically you can have one bluebill or scaup, back during the November split, and then December 9th through January 8th. And then from January 9th through January 28th, which is the last month of the season, basically, our last 3 weeks, you can have 2. Okay. The reason they do that, the greater numbers and the migration come down later in the year, and their numbers were, from estimates and counts, they were down a little bit, so they wanted to restrict that early. So got to be really careful. Anytime you have a bag limit on one, I know in the years past, canvasbacks have been 1 and different things, and they've fluctuated 1, 2, whatever. But anytime you have one, you got to be really careful, because you got a flock of birds come in. If you identify that species as a waterfowl hunter, had to be really careful. So only one bluebill for now, and then after January, on January 9th, you can have 2. And a lot of people get in the bays and they hunt bluebills and redheads.
Yeah.
if you have a flock come in, you just have to be really, really careful when you can only kill one of that particular species. So I just want to get that information out there. Again, it's going to be one until January 8th, and then January 9th through the 28th, you can have two.
Okay. That's interesting. That is that they're able to adapt to that.
Yep.
Okay, you sent some pictures. If I'm able to get some up, I think are these your pictures?
Yes, sir. So I just wanted to brag on my cousin a little bit up in Jackson County. That's a trail camera picture of a nice buck we had up there on our place.
Yes.
And, called him Crab Claw 8 because he had that kind of crab claw there on his left side. And he's been hunting hard, doing a bunch of scouting, and he was fortunate enough last week to be able to take that that buck and made a really good shot. And it's Stephen Broughton up there in Jackson County. He went to Mosley. You probably remember Stephen.
And he's your cousin?
Yes,
sir. Is this it right here?
Yes, sir. There he is.
Yeah, Stephen, I recognize him.
Yep. So made a great shot, dropped him right there, and
boy, these cameras are something else, aren't they?
They are, and they really help with determining, hey, what's going to be a shooter buck, what's a young one that you need to let go, and like I said, he was able to get that deer last week, so super proud of him there, and wanted to brag on him a little bit, and then
tell us, we've got some fishing pictures now. We're going to change from hunting to fishing, so this is a cool story.
So we just got back from visiting some family in Puerto Rico. Nicole's side of the family all lives down there in PR, and one thing about it, as cold as it's been here, it's 85 degrees every day down there. So kids got to swim, go to the beach, go to the pool, and then we got to pull on some tarpon.
Okay. So we got some phone video, so it's just rough footage here, but it's a great video. So tarpon, right there, people swimming, here's tarpon.
Tarpon were everywhere.
Check this out, folks. Yeah. Okay.
Crystal clear water. There's Nicole right there.
Look at that.
Bowing to the king, the Silver King.
People pay $1,000 to go do that, and she's right there off the dock.
Yeah, right off the dock. And we had her mom's ugly stick that we were trying. It's like an ultralight that we were playing around with them, and there's probably 70, 80-pound tarpon coming through there.
Oh my goodness, an ugly stick.
Yeah,
y'all could do a commercial for them.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
So we had a good time, and that just shows you how many were there.
Look at all of them.
Just schools of them, and the water's crystal clear. We were over there on the west side of Puerto Rico there, and there's Bella.
Here's Bella.
She got to fight one too.
Okay, she got one hooked up.
Let's see if the video will play, but she had a.
Oh, we're going to get it booted up.
She had a good
Look
time.
Look at her struggling with it.
Oh yeah.
It's going. So we're going to skip through, but she's got a tarpon on the other end down there.
Yep. So he's going to run, and then at the end, I believe he has a pretty good jump there. So the kids got a kick out of that.
Yeah.
Had a great time fishing, visiting the family, but those tarpon, it was something else. Watching them just come right by you.
Okay.
Of course, we weren't able to land one with the tackle we had, but we had a good time pulling on them. And
on the ugly stick?
Yeah.
What pound test line?
I think that's like 10, 12-pound test or something. Not really set up for big fish.
And you were saying you don't have to have a license or something? What's the deal with that?
So in Puerto Rico, it's a little different. It's not like Florida where you need a fishing license. They have regulations, but it's not the same. And we actually talked with some of the DNR people over there and made sure, because we want to follow the rules and regulations.
Yeah.
There is some federal requirements for highly migratory species and things like that, but it's different than the states because Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. It's not a state. So, anyways, had a great time down there. Pulled on some fish, got to visit the family, and enjoy some warm weather before we came back up here to the
cold weather.
To the cold. So, anyways, it was a lot of fun, and it's just such a cool place down there. It's tropical, so right there where we're catching those tarpon, you go snorkeling out there. It's a coral reef, and you see all the tropical fish and marine life, and really, really pretty. So
good pictures. Good pictures. Big buck and then catching tarpon. So that's good stuff and all.
Yep.
Okay, we got another minute or two in this segment. Then we got the case of the month coming up next. So have we covered everything you brought as far as the harvesting?
Pretty much. There's one more thing that I had talked about. Another question that has come up. And if we've got a couple minutes, I can just a little scenario. Say you have two people hunting. And let's say me and you go hunting and you kill a deer, and let's say you got to be home for dinner. It's the afternoon, and you want to give me the deer because I'm going back by a processor.
Okay.
When it comes to transferring, we just want to make sure that people are following the rules when it comes to transferring a deer. So really simple, you would log and report your deer.
Okay.
You get a confirmation number. And then if you're going to give that deer to me and say, hey, I want my friend to go take that, or a family member to go take that to the processor, the correct way to do it is the deer needs to be, or parts thereof, depending on if it's been quartered up or gutted, or maybe it's a whole animal, need to be labeled with a harvester's name and harvest reporting confirmation number. And that label needs to remain on the deer or portions or parts thereof until final processing or stored at the permanent residence of the possessor. Okay. So it's just fill out a little tag. That way, for instance, let's say that you gave me a deer and then I'm stopped by FWC. You can say, this is my friend, Winston Chester. This is his deer. Here's his name. Here's his confirmation number. This is where it was killed, and this is the date.
That's the way to do it. That's the right way to do
it. And just making sure you have that, and then sex evidence of the deer. And we've went over that before. So. We've had that question because, that happens. You're at a hunting camp, you're at a lease, people are hunting together. It's like, hey, I killed one, but I can't run it by, or maybe you killed two, and that's the proper way to just move transfer.
And I can see where that does happen with a group of people and all that.
Sure.
But I'm going to take mine. If I get one, I'm going to take it myself. I don't. But some people get in a bind or something. I may have to go to work or something.
Right. And things happen.
Do it the right way.
Exactly.
Let's take a final break. We'll come back with a case of the month. Okay, welcome back. See here with Travis Bassford talking about, we know we had Ken Pepper on the other day working in early years Palm Beach County, and you worked there in the early years in that area?
I did, yes sir. And, same area.
And we have outlaws in all areas, don't we?
Yeah, all over the state, and a lot of fishing and hunting that goes on down there.
There is. Let's take a quick look at our fishing game times before we get back with Travis. We're looking at, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers, 6:05 to 8:05 this morning, and this afternoon late, 6:30 to 8:30. Okay, case of the month. Well, y'all, I get so much feedback how much y'all enjoy these true stories, true crime stories. So here we go, Travis.
Sure, and we have a lot of good cases that have been made over the past month. This is one I'd like to highlight here. Officer Keelan Alsabrooks. Assigned to Bay County, but we work multiple counties here in the Panhandle, and he was actually on patrol up in Jackson County. This was back the beginning of waterfowl season, and he located a duck hunt going on in the early morning hours on some private property, was able to work himself into a position of advantage, and when the hunters had finished hunting, he moved in, conducted a resource inspection. There were two guys hunting, and at first it appeared that it was legal, and then upon further inspection, he found that they had shot over the bag limit on wood ducks, which they admitted to, and they had the place baited pretty heavily with corn and bait. So great job by the officer being out there, because we know these duck hunts, they're going on right at daylight, so you need to be out there beforehand, going above and beyond, making a dang good case, and then getting in. And he was able to cite the guys with possession over the bag limit on wood ducks, and then taking migratory birds over bait. So good job by Keelan. He does a great job for us in Bay County, but then like this time of year, like I say, especially this time of year, we moved to other counties, and this was up in Jackson.
Two infractions, two of them.
Yep.
Now listen, how early can you shoot in the morning? Because you mentioned morning shoots. What's the time? Daylight, daybreak, or?
Yeah, so a lot of people. That's a thing too. And 30 minutes before official sunrise.
Okay.
Is the legal requirements for migratory birds and for your resident game animals when it comes to deer and resident game birds. The only difference is for your resident stuff, for deer, it's 30 minutes after, and then for migratory birds, it ends at sunset.
Okay.
So, and the reason for that is, there's several reasons, but when it comes to migratory birds, you can imagine we've all duck hunted.
Yeah.
Or I know me and you have, and if you shoot a bird down right at sunset, you've got a chance to, or right before sunset, you've got a chance to recover that bird. If you wait till it gets late and dark, it's super hard to find. A migratory bird out there in the marsh or in the field when it gets dark. So, got to stop at sunset on ducks.
Okay. Good job, Officer Keelan Alsabrook. Okay, so we've got about a minute or two left. What else you got? Have you got? We could go on and on about these deer regulations, but I would just encourage everybody. I know it's not perfect, but the website does have a lot of good information on it.
myfwc.com, click on hunting. If you have questions about CWD, or if your deer got tested, and you can click on the CWD page, and then there's a link on there where you can click and say, hey, put your confirmation number in, hit search, and see if it's been tested. And like I said, I actually did that with Nicole's deer, and it was tested, and it was negative. And it's just a good way, like I say, peace of mind for some people on the CWD response. And one more thing, another question real quick, if we got a minute, is a roadkill deer.
Yeah.
You know, you say you hit a deer on the side of the road, do you need a harvest report number? Does it count against your bag?
Oh, good question.
So no, that's an accident.
Okay.
That literally. And you know, you can call us. We can give you a case number, but that does not count against your annual bag limit. If you kill a deer by accidentally hitting it with your car, that does not count against your 5. I had that question as well. So that's another thing that's excluded from the bag limit. And then we could go on and on about that. I mean, we've just gotten so many questions on this thing, but I would just encourage everybody, you can call us or you can go on myfwc.com, and a lot of them can be answered there. They actually have a Q&A thing on the bag limit questions, on the harvest reporting, and on the CWD stuff.
And listen, he's talking about reporting, and you know, as citizens, especially as outdoorsmen who love our outdoors, it's our responsibility, and really we should do it. I know a lot of y'all do. When you see somebody, you see a light shining in the field at 11 o'clock or whatever, or you hear somebody shooting, boom, 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 that time of late in the afternoon after sunset and all, let them know about it, and they'll take care of it. I've been in the shoes before. I've had information I've passed on to them, and they take care of it. So. And these bad guys like that, they're just stealing from us. So as a citizen and outdoorsman, we need to do that.
Absolutely, we encourage it. You know, if you see something, say something, help us out. You know, we are spread thin, but we want to do what we can to enforce. And you know, like you said, it takes away from people that are trying to do it legally when people break the law like that. So please give us a call. Even if you think it may be something, it might not be, we can look into it and determine if we've got a violation.
Especially a single shot like at 10:30 at night, that's not normal. I mean, so let them know. We're about to run out of time again, Travis. Thank you, buddy.
As always, yes, sir.
And Merry Christmas to you and your family, and y'all enjoy it. I know next time y'all go to Puerto Rico now, take something bigger than an ugly stick.
Yeah, we're going to bring some better tackle next time, try to land one of them jokers.
That's great. Okay. Thank y'all for watching the show today. We appreciate FWC and Travis coming on. So y'all do something good today for your fellow man. Enjoy our beautiful outdoors and take care of it. And God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.